one. He does not have the authority, despite the fact that he says 4 years in prison would be the law of the land. Under California law that was amended recently this year, he doesn't have the authority to actually send him to prison for 4 years. So what actually happens under California law to Conrad Murray now?
Suzanne, under California law, this 4 years that he just sentenced the doctor to is reduced immediately to 2 years in county prison. Those 2 years in county prison now are subject to the Bureau of Prisons, or the exact name for that group in California. Federally, it's Bureau of Prisons. Under their guidelines, and this has nothing to do with the judge, he's out of the picture now. Under those guidelines, Suzanne, because Dr. Murray has no criminal history, and because the crime that he was convicted of, involuntary manslaughter, is listed and enumerated as one of the non-violent crimes by the state of California, he is entitled to immediate home confinement due to prison overcrowding. And that's going to be a determination made by the county prison officials.
All right, I want to bring in quickly Sandra Endo, who is actually there at the courthouse. Any reaction so far? Are you seeing people cheering? Are they upset? What is going on where you are?
Suzanne, there were a few cheers outside the courthouse. There are a couple of fans gathered, but of course a large media presence, everyone wanting to know the sentencing for Dr. Conrad Murray. But you heard it, the judge imposing the maximum sentence, 4 years in prison, as you mentioned, saying that he practiced and engaged in a pattern of lies and deceit, creating a sophisticated scheme, obtaining propofol and then using it, medical madness, calling this a long-standing failure of character between patient and doctor. And what really did it, according to Judge Michael Pastor, is this recording, the creepy audio recording we heard throughout the trial of Michael Jackson clearly drugged up, and Conrad Murray not giving a reason why he recorded that recording on his iPhone. And all the judge could say was, look, that was his insurance policy. So clearly the judge very upset over that, Suzanne.
Thank you, Sandra. I want to bring in Randy Kaye, who's been covering the trial from the very beginning, my colleague Randy Kaye. Randy, he talked about how he was offended that there was no remorse here coming from Conrad Murray. You spent many, many days in that courtroom watching his demeanor. What did you make of that?
You know, it's hard to say, of course, how he felt truly about Michael Jackson. I mean, a lot of people say, well, he was making $150,000 a month, and that's why he took this job. And maybe he wasn't paying as much attention to his patient as he could have. But from what I witnessed in that courtroom, many times Conrad Murray had tears in his eyes. I mean, I do think that there was some love on his behalf for Michael Jackson. I truly believe that he cared about him, but it seems as though he was in over his head. I mean, as the judge pointed out there was lack of treatment. He had left the room possibly for as long as 45 minutes on the day that Michael Jackson died, taking phone calls and sending text messages with 3 women in his life, and also the lies to the paramedics, Suzanne, the lies to the hospital emergency room workers. The judge obviously didn't stand for that and didn't like any of his actions.
All right. Well, Randy, we're going to give the story to you as someone who covered it and obviously who continues with CNN Newsroom this hour. Thank you, Randy.